On this episode of Dear Bros, grandmother wants to be present for the birth of her grandchild.
Also, do you have to go to the wedding if your future son-in-law is a complete and utter dirtbag?
Who?
Stay tuned.
No.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Andy Smith.
I'm Tim Fulton.
And this is Dear Bros.
Dear bro.
Dear Bros, we rip a couple advice columns from the famous Dear Abby, and we just bullshit about him a little bit. Thanks,
Abs. All right, first up, I'm going first. Abusive husband to be.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Way to just set the tone
this
with
is
domestic violence.
Yeah, we're going to get deep real fast. So the actual title is Daughter Becomes Engaged to Abusive Boyfriend.
Ugh.
Dear Abby, my worst fear has come true. My daughter just became engaged to someone we do not approve of. They have been together for 3 years, and it has been 3 years of drama. From not working because they have to be together 24/7 to domestic violence. Must I attend the wedding? Should I help her plan it? She's my firstborn, and I adore her, but she's making a huge mistake. Reluctant in Ohio. Discuss.
Wow. Okay. So they've been together for 3 years, and it's been 3 years of drama. They don't work from not working, and they're
That
together.
was one of the things it sounds like.
And they have to be together 24/7. Okay, so the first two are enough to be like red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. So already they got 2 yellow cards.
I thought they were red cards.
I think that means in soccer or something.
I think that's like a warning and not an actual fact.
But I don't watch soccer.
I don't watch soccer either.
So
football.
yeah. So does she not have to attend the wedding?
I lean towards no. If you truly do not approve of the wedding, you truly do not approve of or think this is a mistake, I think you have to do something that will tell your daughter, we love you, we will do anything for you, but we're not going to this. But you have to make that first part very clear so she doesn't feel as jaded as humanly possible.
Yeah.
It's tricky though. That's easy. That sounds easier than it is.
So I don't disagree. I just want to point out also on the Dear Abby site, there is a promotion for Adesanya versus Costa.
Oh shit.
That's how popular it is. We're going to be talking about that in a little bit. So I think that she's in a clearly, if we're taking this as fact, she's in an abusive relationship, right?
That's what it sounds like.
From the drama to they have to be together 24/7. Ugh.
Yeah, no.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Very few relationships have the ability to be together all the time and not have it be some type of problem.
Yeah.
Or rooted from some type of issue that they have to be together 24/7.
Yeah.
The domestic violence, not good. But I think that if she is in an abusive relationship, I'm not so quick to tell the mom not to go because I feel like this dude, if she's staying with him, he's probably hyper manipulative and he's going to hold that over her head that her mom didn't go there, don't care about you or whatever. And I think it's going to put a wedge possibly between the mother and the daughter that she won't realize unless she gets out of the relationship, and it's going to be harder for them to rekindle that because it's like now you just put another mini mountain in front of the issues that you already have, and you have to hurdle that before you actually get to the other issues.
You're pointing out what I was trying to lean towards, kind of like the whole like you have to make her understand that you'll always be there for her. I said that for the purpose of like you have to leave that line out. Like you can't just not show up because like you said, it's going there's no doubt that that's going to leave some sort of bad impression.
Yeah.
No, even if he isn't manipulative, but I'm sure to some degree he is if we're taking this at face value, that not showing up to your daughter's wedding is going to leave a bad taste in her mouth probably.
Yeah, and it's definitely a statement, but then again, that might be something that tells her daughter like, "Oh, like maybe I need to think about this if my mom's," cuz she says that like she's her firstborn and she adores her. So it's not like she's saying like my daughter's always been a problem.
No, she's saying it out of love. Like it's not.
But I'm saying for a mother that seems to be like this type of way with her daughter,
yeah,
for her to not want to go to the wedding, like it's reading like that guy's a real piece of shit.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, she needs to get some help. I think she needs to talk to somebody professional about this. Get the fuck out of that marriage.
You know, that's not a bad idea. A lot of times we try to answer these questions in like point blank value. Maybe it's a lot of people think that like couples counseling or like some sort of counseling is to like resolve issues between two people. Maybe she should go see a counselor to like.
I don't think she needs couples counseling. I think she needs individual counseling because I don't think she should be in this relationship. If a guy's being physically abusive,
no, I meant the mother.
Yeah.
I meant the mother to help talk it out. Obviously, the daughter.
Yes,
she would probably benefit from.
Yeah,
it
that would
as well.
That would be a good idea as well. So she's asking. Let's answer her question. Does she have to help? Does she have to attend, and should she help her plan it? I think that. What's an easier one?
The escape route.
Huh?
You plan the escape route. Like,
yeah.
The entire time you're like, the flowers can go here. There's a fire exit there. And a car will be running the
Dad's in the van.
Time.
So I think that you bail on the planning before.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, bail on the planning. And honestly, I wouldn't even make it like a nasty thing. I would just say, I want to talk to you about things that are on my mind. And I'm not gonna start helping you plan this wedding that I don't agree with until you talk to me about it.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
That's fair.
Or maybe like say, hey, we're gonna plan your wedding, like the downfall of your wedding, like the fall of the wedding.
Or even if it's just like, hey, listen, we don't agree with the wedding. I'm not helping. Maybe they can attend, but as long as their sentiment is known, like we'll go.
See, they need like an old school dad in this situation.
I know.
To just like you just need to see an old school dad like at one of the engagement parties or whatever, just like being like a little bit like just a little sign of violence.
Yeah.
For him to just totally do a dad thing, ruin the reception party by just choke slamming this piece of shit onto the couple's table. And just all those little pieces of, cake that they sample just flying through the air.
I never understood wedding cakes.
I don't get it.
You don't even see it.
Money. It's money.
All right, well.
Let's see what she says.
Yeah, we're getting a little off topic. Dear Reluctant, I'm going to assume that you have expressed your feelings and concerns to your daughter. If that's the case, then you must accept that she's an adult and capable of making her own decisions. Should you help plan the wedding? Yes, as long as you are not paying for it. Should you attend even though you don't approve of her choice of husband? Absolutely. If he's a violent abuser, she is going to need family around so she doesn't become isolated and totally under his control. Her life could depend on it. See, that's actually a valid
that's what
point.
I was afraid of with the not attending.
That's a valid point.
Do
a 180 from what you're thinking of. Don't leave things. Be in her life as much as humanly possible. Yeah. Become the overbearing mother-in-law you were afraid of becoming. Yeah, you just I like her answer on this one.
You know what you got to do? You know what she's got to do? She's got to go convince her daughter to start taking like some classes at like a Muay Thai place or whatever. Not that so she can do something, just so that gym accepts her as one of their own, and then just have the fiance just start picking her up and just start having conversations outside the gym, because he's going to get shitty and one of those guys is going to come out and just shin him right in the forehead.
Yo, fun fact, I didn't used to teach, my brother used to teach a woman's self-defense course, and I would help him teach it, and so would my sister-in-law. And like 90% of my job was to wear a red pad
and just let people kick
me. It was just, it used to be so much fun. And my buddy actually said, he was like, he didn't know that part. And he was like, oh, your brother's in the newspaper. He taught a class. Like they had.
Did you look like you had the sumo suit on?
Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, I was part of that class. I wear a suit and the women all kick me. And he literally spit cereal out all over the fucking table.
I'm the test dummy.
It was great times. Women, you would see like, they would like, the first one would be like, I'm sorry. And by the end of it, they'd just be like, I fucking hate you.
Did any of it hurt? Did any of it hurt?
It would eventually, like, not hurt, but it would tinge by the end of it. So, like, they would try to go for the groin.
Okay, I don't care how many pads you give me. I'm not going to let somebody freely kick me in the nuts.
Yeah. The whole point was just to get women used to kicking.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Get them used to kicking.
Yeah.
Get them used to being a little bit violent.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of violence.
Just don't abuse it.
All right. So moving on. Andy, what do you do, bro?
Can I come too?
That's what she said.
So, mine is mom wants to be present for the birth of first grandchild. Buckle up.
I'm buckled.
All right, ready? My 28-year-old daughter is having our first grandchild. My daughter and I have a good relationship, but she doesn't want me to be around when she goes into labor. All her life, I've been the most loving and caring mother I could be to her. She has a great husband. Should I take it personally that she doesn't want me there when she goes into labor? I've waited a long time to be a grandmother. I feel she should be happy to have me around. I'm deeply hurt that she won't let me be with her during this beautiful moment in her life. What do you think?
All right.
Saddened in Oregon. That is such an Oregon email.
First off, this is not the most beautiful moment in her life. I can tell you that now. It's going to be... How does she not remember?
Have you ever seen Saw?
It makes it look PG.
Ugh.
It's not a beautiful moment. Don't take offense to it.
But she's a mother, so she knows what goes on there.
Yeah, and I guess that was a thing once upon a time, but it's not your birth.
No, it
It's
can't
not
be.
your decision. Don't take it personal. Give her a privacy leave.
Her daughter's only 28. It's
Only?
No, her daughter is only 28. This lady is not like 150.
Yeah, but even like back in like the 80s, it was a thing.
What?
Yeah.
I never heard of that. Like the family just sitting around a campfire.
I'm not saying the So like the access to like hospitals and stuff. I mean, I'm not saying it was super, super common. I'm not saying like everyone's like, a birthing's happening, like guns are shooting, tooting, and
Yeah.
everyone goes to the barn and
But
they
she
just
wants
wait
to be
for
in the
pop-
room.
Yeah, I know. That's what. But a lot of women are used to being in the rooms, especially with women that they know. And it's like a weird transition. Like they used to. What is the word? I almost said something wrong. Midwife.
Yeah.
Like midwives were a thing, but when midwives weren't necessary because you have legitimate nurses, women still wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, but that was to help with the baby, not to just get your popcorn and sit on the bleachers.
I'm saying it's a transition. What I'm saying, it's a transition. It feels like a traditional thing that women get to be with women.
This lady's got issues.
I'm not saying it's right.
Tap dancing around it. You're putting kid gloves on. If the issue was a person, it'd be wearing that red jumpsuit that used to get kicked in the balls in. Okay? Take the suit off. You're not in the room, lady. You're not uncomfortable. You're gonna make the husband.
All right, going back to that real fast, completely off topic, because I think we both agree that the grandmother is fucking crazy and she should leave her daughter alone, right?
She just wrapped up. It sounds like she is all like she can't say like, "Oh, this isn't about me."
Yeah. She's mad or sad, whatever. It's not about you. You're going to have years with your grandchild. Leave it alone.
She just fell short of saying she owes me.
Yeah.
Like she literally said, "All of her life I've been the most caring and loving mother." Good for you. Good for you. You don't get to fuck her husband either.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. If she doesn't want you there, you're not there. Now, if she wanted you there, then you have to get it okay from the husband.
Yeah.
But if she wanted you there, that's fine. But if she's like, "I don't want you there."
You know what? There's a good chance that the husband won't be there.
Yeah, I don't want you looking at that fucking bombshell that goes off. Yeah.
Fuck.
No, thank you. I don't need any more stress.
No, thank you.
So let's see what she says.
Yeah, let's see what she says.
This isn't about you.
Thank you, Abby.
And I urge you not to personalize this as you are doing. Childbirth may indeed be a, quote, beautiful moment, but this is also a challenge. This challenge is one your daughter may prefer to face with her husband at her side, even if he's allowed to be there because of a pandemic. There will be plenty of beautiful moments you can share with your grandchildren in the future, so concentrate on those.
Perfectly said.
Yeah. Hey, crazy. Back off. Back off.
Back off, woman.
Yeah.
So, real quick story. Going back to my red jumpsuit days.
Okay.
I wanted this to be over just because I wanted to tell you about this.
Red jumpsuit apparatus.
Red jumpsuit days. So we taught a bunch of those classes, and I explicitly remember we taught one of them at a gym. And when it was over, we had a strict no male policy. It was about women's self-defense. So other than the teachers, no men, because like,
Imagine dudes who were like planning on assaulting women were going there for take notes. just like, let's see what they're up to.
so this is what I avoid.
Okay, hey everybody.
So one of the women who attended our classes was a regular at the gym. Clearly, she was young and fairly attractive.
Okay.
And so she probably knew a bunch of the guys there. And one of the personal trainers, I won't mention what gym, and I won't mention names or anything like that. I explicitly remember we packed up, we were on our way out, and she was telling them all the cool things that she learned. And I'm telling you now, it's women's self-defense. We're not training you to get in a cage and fight to the death. We're not training
It's just to get away.
We're teaching you how to quick, simple lessons to get away, and it's an hour and a half. It's not perfect. It's
Better
not
than
whatever.
nothing.
Better. Thank you. This guy explicitly said, I bet it doesn't work. And then he wrestled her to the ground. And pinned her. So now, A, you made it just look like we taught her nothing. B, you made it felt like no matter what she did, she will always be vulnerable. I can't, and I know I'm currently winning an argument. You know how like you have those shower arguments? I'm having one of those on the podcast right now. But I can't even describe the heat in my chest. Because A, he wasn't even trying. He wasn't trying to rape her. He was trying to prove a point. That's different.
We're going to talk about this right now.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. So
Dear Bros is now about rape.
there's a couple schools of thought here, and there's a couple things on my mind. Number one, if you have the option of not knowing anything or taking a basic self-defense class,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, unless the instructor is completely inept and is teaching you things that will put you in more danger than not, you're better to have a little bit of training than not any training at all.
Correct.
That's hands down,
correct.
right?
Correct.
As you said, these women are not trained to be martial artists.
Correct.
They're not spending all their free time here, okay? That guy's an asshole. He's a douchebag, right? You know why? Because he wasn't friends with her to the point where that was okay in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like when it's somebody you don't know doing that or like barely know.
Well, to be fair, I don't know their relationship.
Well,
I never met the two of them prior to that. No.
Sounds like he was a little bit threatened and had a fucking ego and had to just
that I
prove
agree with.
all this shit. But here's the thing. You are talking about in self-defense classes. You're talking about moves, I'm assuming, that you're doing where you're not concerned for the other person's longevity safety.
Correct.
Meaning, I'm going to gouge your eye. I'm going to
Correct.
kick you in the nuts.
Correct.
I'm going to fish hook you.
Eyes, neck, groin.
Yeah. So if you try to go after somebody like that and they immediately can't use half of what they just learned because they don't want to poke your fucking eye out, then it's not really a realistic situation.
Yeah.
Number two, she's your friend, so she's not going to fight back like she's getting abducted or possibly raped.
Yeah.
Number one.
Plus, not to interrupt you, one of the things we teach is kind of sort of the element of surprise, because when you have cowards who are literally going after women for the sake of abuse,
Yeah.
like sexual abuse, they're not expecting someone to fight back. And that was one of the things we taught. We basically said, listen, you're not going to be a world famous fighter at the end of this. But if you show some sort of aggression, some sort of yell, scream, fight, kick, do whatever.
You have a better chance.
You have a better chance, and you're going to catch the other person off guard. This guy's going into it thinking, I need to take her down.
Yeah.
Not, I'm going to kidnap her or whatever. I need to take her down and prove a point.
Yeah. And the thing is with self-defense, your objective is not to beat the other person. It's to get away.
Yes.
It's to get away.
Yes.
That's it.
That was number one thing.
It's get the fuck out of there. Get away. Be away from danger.
Yes.
Not win a fight. Be away from danger. Get to a crowd. Get to anything like that. All this dude proved to himself, I'm bigger. I'm a guy. I have natural things that are naturally my favorite. I weigh more. And I'm going to just show you those things that you already knew.
Yeah.
But I agree with you that it's not the best thing to show her after that because now she's questioning the things that she learned.
It undermines it.
Here's the flip side to that. If someone asked me for advice on something, if they were asking about like best self-defense or whatever, my first suggestion might not be a self-defense class. But then again, my question would be, how much time do you have?
Yeah.
How much time do you have? If they said I have a half hour a week, I might say self-defense class.
That's fair.
Because if you have the ability to work out, there's in my opinion better options for self-defense But the thing is they require a lot of time, right? And all that guy proved is, she took a couple self-defense classes. I'm going to prove it doesn't work. Well, hold on. If you go into a jiu-jitsu gym and you pick out a guy that's been doing it for 2 weeks, and you're a big, strong, muscular guy, and maybe been in a couple scraps in your life, and you pin down a white belt and beat the shit out of him, does that mean Brazilian jiu-jitsu does not work? No. You just took a guy that practices Brazilian jiu-jitsu but is not proficient at it.
Exactly.
And you basically are saying that because I beat this guy who's not proficient at it, the entire system does not work.
Exactly.
And that's not correct.
That's not correct.
And every system has its flaws, its weaknesses, its strengths, what have you. No system is perfect, but any training is better than no training.
Any training is better than no training.
So fuck that guy. I'm saying fuck that guy because I put myself in a place where I'm showing that it's of where he's coming from. In another light, in a very controlled environment, I do think that one of the things that's important in that aspect is for people to realize what it feels like to be in a violent situation like that. To try to replicate it, because if you've never been in a physical altercation to the extent of someone else is trying to physically do you harm, it's very difficult to replicate the speed at which it happens, the strength at which you're experiencing from the other person, and the confusion that your brain is going to give you from all the drugs that it's going to pump into your system. And I think that that's like anything else. It's like repetitions in a gym.
Yeah.
You got to get calm with it. So to a certain extent, if you have, and granted, this is if you have time to do this, but if you have somebody that's like very confident and like, all I have to do is this, they might need a lesson where it's like, not like a beat them down lesson, but just like a, hey, like if you just hold on to them and say, just try to get out.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because after the class, we follow each woman home and we just beat the shit out of them.
Oh, well, there you go.
And that way they understand that they're not ready.
Yeah, but
they have to take our class.
my point would be like this. Like if you if you're trying to instill into somebody the importance of, listen, do not get taken down to the ground. Don't let them get a hold of you. And people are like, okay, if you want to get the point of that across, if you had them lay on the ground and you laid on top of them and say, get up, and they can't get up, you're like, this is why it's so important to not end up here, because I'm not even trying to do you harm. I'm just holding on to you.
Yeah. And so that's one of the things that comes with the time constraint.
Yes.
So I think the class was like an hour, maybe an hour and a half long. And that's why we focused on a handful. We focus a lot on mentality.
Yeah.
And we do teach, we don't do it anymore. We did teach a handful of small moves. Like, so the whole mentality thing was basically like, if you're ever in a situation, a lot of times you'll have point A and point B. You'll be approached at point A and they'll try to take you to point B. No matter what they suggest, never go to point B. Never. They could be holding a gun to your head. Doesn't matter. Never go to point B. It is not worth it. It is not worth it. So like we spent a ton of time talking about that. And we did teach like very basic stuff. Like, does he have your wrist? This is a good way to get out of it.
Yeah.
Is he trying to get on top of you? And my brother would show you can hold a male's body weight up with your legs. And he would show it because my brother is a huge fat ass. Sorry, James. And my sister-in-law is very petite, and she would hold him up with her legs, and she would like move him around, blah, blah, blah. And then we would do certain drills, some fairly basic things, and it was all get up. It, like you suggested, it was all hit his eyes, hit his neck, hit his groin, get up, run. And then they would kick me for repetition purposes.
Yes, you have to know what it's like to throw something at somebody with intensity.
Exactly, and that's why we would drill that a little bit, just to be like, because like I said at the beginning, like they would start and they'd be like, and by the end of it, they would fucking unleash.
That's what I mean with getting comfortable with the speed and the aggression that you need to bring to the table in that situation. You can't half-ass it. You have to bring it all immediately. Yeah. But that's not what that guy was doing. That guy wasn't taking her down to show her, like, this is why this is really important. Like, you need to, like, not let me get close. He was doing it to be kind of a dick.
It was an ego trip.
And he was being like, see, this stuff doesn't work. It's like, well, no, dude. Like, here's the thing. If it works 1 time out of 100 instead of 0 times out of 100, it's worth it.
It's worth it.
End of story.
Yeah.
End of story. That's it. I had to get that out. Sorry.
No, I'm glad you did. I'm very glad you did, because not that this has been weighing on my mind. This was like 6 years ago, but
Your
at the
balls
same
still
time,
hurt?
Like,
Your balls still
my
hurt?
balls still hurt a little bit. All right, guys. Let us know what you think about these stories in the comments down below. Let us know what you think about the long lost dear Abbeys that we've stopped talking about.
Yeah.
However long. What do you think about me being in a red jumpsuit getting kicked in my groin?
I think we need to bring it back.
Maybe I will. I think he still has the suit. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the little bell notification. Go to brodownpro.com and do all of that other good shit. And we will catch you guys next time.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day.